founder of All Things Business Builder University, where confident Christian women come to build kingdom businesses. I coach high-performing Christian women coaches 40 and over how to build your business and brand in only 90 days, while developing a business blueprint to gain clarity of your specific mission, message, mandate, mantle to market, and lay a firm foundation with business structure, policies, procedures, and curriculum models that build the business framework and construction so you overcome fear, shatter misconceptions, increase confidence, and profit by faith. It's time to unlock what's inside you in all things business.
Welcome to Confident Woman Incubator Podcast. I am your host, Dr. Doreen, Lettsome, Reid. It is amazing to be back with you another week for our broadcast, and we have another amazing guest joining with us. I am so happy to just bring to the stage Coach Alonda. Good to have you tonight. Welcome to Confident Woman Incubator Podcast. This is your first time being with us, so we just give you a warm welcome from around the world, and I just love how you ladies come in from so many different places, so many different backgrounds, confident Christian women, coaches, CEOs that have made a decision to advance the kingdom of God. And you know what? It's time to unlock what's inside you. So I'm so happy to have you here to share, connect, grow, and build with the Confident Woman Incubator audience from around the world. And we're going to be talking about something that is so prevalent today. The question is the value of you. What do women want? The value of you. And that is such a power-packed phrase. It even, when I say it and form the words out of my mouth, you could feel the weight of that, the value of you. So we're going to get into that a little today. And of course, we're going to talk about you being one of our facilitators for our upcoming event. What do women want? And it's just time, no more delays, no more putting it off and procrastinating and saying, you know what, I'll just get to myself at some point. I'm gonna do this first. I'm gonna do that. It's your time to take care of you. It's our time to take care of you. So I really love that all of you ladies are coming in for so different perspectives. And tonight we're going to talk about the value of you. So welcome to Confident Woman Incubator Podcast. Go ahead and just tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and just give us all the details.
So I am currently in Cincinnati, Ohio, and I have been an entrepreneur since the age of 16, currently 39. I just had a birthday, but so I've been a coach since 2020. But coaching is something that I always did, but I wanted to take it a step further and get certified and be able to coach at a larger scale. So I'm a serial entrepreneur. I was once a parallelpreneur up until recently, and I went back into full-time entrepreneurship. So that's a little bit about me. I'm a mom of 3 amazing children. And so, I rock out every day. They're also entrepreneurs. So we have a fun time around here.
Well, that's such a very good perspective too. And so I know tonight you really wanted to talk about the value of you. Now, when you hear that, and I know it's a part of your heart, what would you want to tell the women that are listening from around the world when we're talking about the value of you?
So I think that one of the things that I live my motto by is also my coaching principle is that you don't need permission to be yourself. Everything that God has for you, a lot of times people ask me like, well, how do I know what my purpose is? And how do I know what I'm supposed to be doing? And I think that a lot of times people feel like they need permission, so they haven't leaped into their becoming and started becoming their best self and doing what they're supposed to be doing, because they're waiting for this big old sign from God, when really it's the little things, right? And I always tell people that mountain didn't become a mountain just by itself. It was a small grain of salt, and grain of sand, and it turned into a boulder as it rubbed up against, as it came and got that experience through the climate changes and different things. That is how it became. And so I tell people, like, everything that you need is already within you. Becoming is your birthright. It's not gonna be sometimes a big old sign and a wonder. And so I think that, a lot of women feel like they don't value themselves yet because they're waiting on somebody to validate them. And I want them to know that you are valid. You are valid the day that God created you, the day he thought of you, and everything that he put inside of you uniquely. The way God designed us is so intricately beautiful that everything, he put everything in us. And so if you imagine yourself as this wonderful box, right, that God has just packed all of these different layers and these beautiful things inside, and that life experience and people come into your life not to make you, but to help shape you. And I say that because people are always waiting on permission and people to validate them and say you are worthy, but I need you to know that you are worthy. And so I teach that and let people know, like, listen, it's already inside of you. Coaching is valuable, therapy is valuable, having encounters with others is valuable, and it's needful, right? But it's not because that coaches or therapists or pastors or church members come to make you. We come to help unlock what's already there and to bring forth the things that you don't know exist inside of you. So I think that networking one to another helps you to know that those things are inside of you, and they'll give you those life experiences to start walking fully in your purpose.
Absolutely. This is why it's time to unlock what's inside you. Really having an opportunity to just make a decision that you're not going to keep putting it off and keep putting off yourself. And I wrote this down here. It's just time for you to make time for you, because
Absolutely.
a lot of times as women, wives and mothers, women in business, even other coaches, we're so busy putting other people first. We're so busy serving. Some of us have been serving for decades, and we have not taken time for you. You have not taken time for you. And so it's time to unlock what's inside you. Enough is enough. I mean, we have to draw the line at some point. We can't keep serving and putting off ourselves and not really understanding the value of you. And so a lot of women are in this space, are in this place of pain. Really, it's a place of pain because you feel guilty. What do you tell the women that are in your circle, or just let's talk here on Confident Women Incubator podcast, those that may be listening and feel guilty by us saying, look, enough is enough. It's your time for you. What would you say to that?
I would tell them, like, listen, because you are valuable, and when you have reached a capstone space where you're like, okay, what is next? You have to get around other people. You got to plug into other resources. And I always say, don't get comfortable being the strongest or smartest person in the room. Get around some people that can grow and expand your brain, your heart, your emotions, and your emotional intelligence, your self-awareness, your business, your brand. Constantly be looking for ways to and I feel like for me, that's how I work on putting myself first, to make sure that I can show up for myself first, for my children second, for my clients, and my friend space. Because here's the thing, if you don't start to put yourself first and think about yourself, like, hey, how am I going to evolve this year? For me, I just had a birthday, and I think, like, on every quarter of the year, I think about, okay, what do I want to do? What do I want to pour into myself? I set a list. And I know a lot of women do like vision boards and stuff like that, but This year I did a vision board, and self-care was the biggest section, and the second biggest section was my spirituality, because what I realized was that my spirituality was big on my self-care as well, and how those interlinked. But the main consensus was put more of yourself first, because you can only pour so long before you become empty. And a lot of times that causes us pain. We get uncomfortable, we get miserable, we get resentful even sometimes, and we get stagnant, or we get burnt out, and we're not performing at the highest capacity of self that we can, because we're not loving on ourselves the way we should. And you have to continue to put yourself first, because if you're not good to yourself, you're no good to anyone else.
Absolutely. So talk about the upcoming event, What Do Women Want? Because that's what we've been talking about. We want that time, even though we may not say it, some of us still may be dealing with some guilt. But by
Mm-hmm.
coming to this virtual experience, What Do Women Want? It provides a safe place for us to have a roundtable discussion and really just get real about what it is that we want, and that it's okay to want certain things in our lives. It's okay to verbalize that out of our mouth, the value of you, so your new beginning. That's, because you can't keep putting it off and putting it off and putting off. It's time to unlock what's inside you. So just go ahead and share with everyone about this virtual experience of the year. It is so important that What Do Women Want, where we as women from all walks of life can come together as Christian women and just have a roundtable discussion and get different views, because no view is the same, and really share, connect, and grow and build. You want to talk to us a little bit about the event, and I know you're going to drop the link in the comment as well.
Yeah, I'm super excited, honestly, for this opportunity, because, like you said, everybody is going through different things and have different perspectives, but we are also more alike than we realize as well. And so, what you may feel like works for you, when we get to be able to let our hair down and we get to really be able to tell our truth, we also get to be vulnerable with each other and be able to, when you get vulnerable, then change and shape can take place, and you can begin to commune one to another and say, you know what, sis, I'm struggling in this area of my life, personally, in business, or as a mom, as a wife, or what have you. And I want to get better at this. I want to grow. I want to know what I can do to help shift and pivot the energy and cultivate a different atmosphere in my home, in my mind, in my emotions. And so I'm super excited to be a part of this, because one, when you begin to put yourself first and you begin to really tap into, like, what is it that I really want, what is it that I really need, then you can be vulnerable with other women, other coaches, and show up differently. Like you said, we are doing life, some of the same tasks, but we're doing it differently because of life experience, age, different climates, different, different relationships and stuff like that, and different knowledge. And when you get to come to that table and everybody can put all of their goods and their resources in, I feel like back in the day, that's what the women of old used to do. Everybody would bring their meat into the storehouse and say, you know what, I got a little bit of bread, you got a little bit of eggs, we can all share this and we can create a different meal, and a great meal for ourselves to stretch for our families. And I feel it's the same with our heart resources and our mind energy as well.
Absolutely, because when you talk about the value of you, I believe you begin to unlock that more when you are
Mm-hmm.
in a room full of like-minded women, because you're
Absolutely.
coming to this virtual experience of the year with the same purpose. I'm a woman. I want such and such. I want to have the power to say this is what I want. It's okay for me to express what I want. And then
Absolutely.
having other women in that space that's going to support you, going to support your ideas. It's forming a community. And then what the beauty is about What Do Women Want, we have 7 different coaches where you can go out to breakout rooms and talk specifically on different subjects. And your subject is, that you're going to unleash your power, you're going to unleash who you are, and all of these different things. And part of that is the value of you. So this is something that is incredible. And also with this event, that's the event of the year, what do women want? We are doing strategy sessions with every person that, does their full access ticket. So we don't just stop at the event. We don't just, we move forward. We're moving forward beyond the roundtable discussion, beyond the seven coaches that you will be working with while you're there at the event. We're even following up with you and getting into a private room with you individually to help you unlock what's inside you and determine what is it that you want and how we can support you on your journey so that you're not alone. This is just a very powerful thing. Uh, what would you like to say about, the women that are listening and they feel like, well, I don't, they're uncertain. They're in a place of uncertainty right now.
I feel like the value of you is a movement that is getting ready to catch fire, because I feel like we're under an open heaven right now. God is like, whatever you ask of me, you can have. And I feel like as you come to this place in this conference, I feel like you need to invest in yourself so that you can get in position to unlock the best that God has for you. I feel like every year we say, oh, this is our year. And yes, you've gotten further, but have you really unlocked the fullest potential? Because have you made the right investments in yourself? Do you see yourself valuable? Do you feel like you need to continue to ask permission to show up and be you? God has already given you the permission. So you need to make this investment in yourself and put you first, so that you can come to the table and get the resources. Come and refill your tank so that you can go out there and you can run on and see what the end will be, because you're valuable. If nobody told you today, nobody's told you ever in your life. If nobody told you last week, you are valuable. And I feel like every coach is going to show up, and we're going hard, and we joined this movement because I want to tell you, Queen, you are valuable. And I want you to believe that. I want that to catch fire in your spirit. And I want you to run, run, run.
Yeah,
I
I'm
think it's just so
excited.
important.
I'm excited. We're going to put up the different speakers. It's so much value, the value of you. And it's just time to make a decision. Enough is enough. You're going
Mm-hmm.
to have to take time for you. Enough is enough. Make time for you on March the 25th from 6:30 to 8:30. You can block off 2 hours for the value of you. You can block off 2 hours to get nourishment for you and to get strategies to unlock what's inside you. It's your time. It's your time. The women that are listening, enough is enough. And I know that is just laying it out there. That's just drawing the line. Sometimes you're just going to have to just draw the line and say, okay, enough is enough. I've got to make a decision. I can't keep putting it off and putting it off and putting everything and everyone ahead of me. Well, I've got to go do this. I've got to do that. I've got to do this. What about the value of you? And that's what this event is about. So, Alonda, go ahead and just give them the times and everything again while I get ready to pull up this all of the ladies that's going to be participating.
Yeah, so the date is March 25th. Mark your calendars from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You definitely do not want to walk. You don't want to skip. You want to run and register, because it's going to be an amazing, amazing, amazing event. I'm super excited to tap in and to learn from the other queens that are on the panel, as well as I've been in prayer and consecration to bring it, bring it, bring it, because I too was once you where I had to say, you know what, enough is enough. I'm gonna put me first. And guess what? God took my yes and he exploded. Like, he exploded everything that he has stored up for me. And I want that for you as well.
Yeah, as I get older, there are different seasons in my life. There are different, very painful things that I've had to experience. And sometimes when you are a woman a Christian woman of influence and a Christian woman uh, CEO and a coach, everyone thinks, well, you just got there overnight and that there was no pain. But it's quite the opposite. I feel that I was telling someone just this week, the anointing costs.
Absolutely.
This right here, what I do and what I've been doing for the last 25 years, it has cost me. It has cost me just about everything. And I mean literally everything. And so when you talk about the value of you, um, as we go through these very painful parts of our lives, and I'm a very private person. I normally, of course I know a lot of people, but I'm a very private person. And so when you're going through these painful times, you're often looking at other people and thinking, wow, they just got it going on, right? It just looks like this
Mhm.
just, their business is booming, their brand is booming, they have women around them supporting them. But what about those women that feel like, Alonda, that, I don't have that? They feel like I don't have that. They feel like, and they may not. Just like David. David didn't always have his mighty men to help him fight. He
Right.
fought basically by himself for years, dealing with crazy Saul. This man was beyond insane. I was reading how it was determined that he was actually bipolar. That's why he was acting so crazy. Uh,
Mm,
but when you are in that place of, we know that God is always with us. We know He'll never leave us nor forsake us. Let me qualify that. But
right.
let's just be honest and open. There have been times in our lives, especially as we're getting older and we're going through different seasons in our lives, that we may have felt, well, what is the value of me? Because where is my support system? I have prayed for everybody else. Who's praying for me? you know, who's calling me? I call people, you know, we may be saying, well, I've called her, call this person or call that person, or I've been there for this person, I've been there for this person. Who's there for me? I've supported this business, I've supported that business, but what is the value of me? So
Right.
these are real issues. What would you say to that, Coach Alonda?
I would say honestly, that's why it's so important to come to conferences that are going to build you, because you're going to have to create what it is that you wish somebody would have been for you. And I get that it's like you want something to already be there, but it's not wrong to be the first either. Sometimes you have to make sure that you put a flag in the ground to make the investment in you, to show up and be what you want to see. Because the thing is, that's why sometimes that support does not exist, because God is calling you out to be a leader in that industry or in that field or in that peer group. And it's a thankless job, and it's definitely scary territory. But that's why this event is so powerful, because these things that you have to put yourself in alignment to grow yourself and to see the value of you, and you have to get around people that are going to build you up, because you may have to be the leader of the friend group that you wish that existed for you. You have to create what it is that you wish you had. And I'm a living witness of that. Like, you have to begin to say, you know what, God put me in position to build a community that I feel like I need to be a part of.
Yeah, I think that's very important, especially when you're talking about the value of you. And I believe that's actually what King David did. He, he had all these, he became a leader, and then the Bible says that these mighty men just began to follow him, and he got the support at, during that time period that he needed. And so we as women coming together for What Do Women Want, talking about the value of you on March the 25th, and other topics. This is not just the only topic. So 7 different topics plus the panel discussion plus the roundtable discussion. It's just an opportunity to have candid conversation about the value of you and what is it that you want. It's time to unlock what's inside you. So as we wrap up our podcast for tonight, going to show the flyer one more time, and Alonda is going to give you the dates, and she already has the registration here in the comment. So I'm going to let
So
her give that
mark your
information.
calendar for March 25th at 6:30. It starts sharp and on time at 6:30 to 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. Definitely go. Don't walk, don't skip. Run there to make sure that you value you. You say, you know what, enough is enough. I'm going to put myself in position to value me and to show up as valuable. Because that's the thing. If there is no space created for you, build your own table. What did Tyler Perry say? He said, build your own table.
And these are these beautiful women here. So it's time for you. What do women want? Unlock what's inside you, overcome fear, shatter misconceptions, increase confidence, and profit by faith. These are the things that women want. It's time for you. So join us on March the 25th from 6:30 to 8:30. And we have the Eventbrite link there for you. We're so excited that you're going to be joining us. Thank you so much, Coach Alonda, for all that you're doing to advance the kingdom and help women unlock what's inside you. Thank you so much. And we will see everyone tonight on Clubhouse. We will be in Clubhouse. Make sure you are following us on Clubhouse. So that's going to be at 7:30 to 8:30, Confident Woman Incubator Clubhouse. We want you to just go ahead and join us to continue the discussion. We are going to have an amazing time at 7:30 to 8:30. You can follow at Doreen.l.reid, and I will see you in a few moments on Clubhouse. Thank you, everyone, for joining, and you know what to do. Go ahead and drop it in the comment. Hashtag the confident woman. You see you next week.
See you. Thank you for having me.